Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chasing a Murderer. And I would like to say before we get started that I appreciate all the Patreons and all the supporters that have been so supportive the past few years. It's really you guys that keep me going. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing and doing, shout outs for me. I truly appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started. We're on part 84 of Life Beyond the Grave. Attached to the Doomsday couple, Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow. And we left off where Charles Vallow, the husband of Lori, he's going through some very shocking and torturous events in his life, and they're all created by his wife, who's supposed to love him and stand by his side. Charles Vallow has been deemed a dark spirit. In fact, his soul is gone, and it's been taken over by a dark spirit by the name of Ned Snyder. He returned home finally from Texas to find his truck was gone. He had to get a hold of his bishop, Gabe, who helped him. He drives Charles to his home. The home in Arizona was just rented January 1st, but now it's been evacuated by Lori, as well as her accomplice, Melanie Gibb. Charles Vallow calls police later that evening, needing assistance to make sure that he doesn't get in trouble for going into his own home, because Lori has taken all the keys, she has the children, and all the vehicles. Zach is packed up and headed to his grandparents. Confused and not understanding what's really going on, his concerns for his aunt grows daily. Charles calls police and they meet him at his home. Charles is desperate and exhausted, and as police walk up to them, you could see that Charles is not certain what to say and that police are not certain what to expect.
So what's going on tonight?
I can't get in touch with my kids.
How old are your kids?
6.5 and 16. Okay.
How long have you been trying?
2 days.
Okay.
But she's lost her mind. I don't know how else to say it. We're LDS. She thinks she's a resurrected being and a God, and remember the 144,000. Jesus is coming next year. She took all the money out of her bank account today. My truck has gone from the airport. She went to the airport and got it. I just flew in from Dallas. Houston and Dallas. So,
where's your truck?
I don't know. A friend of mine's truck had picked me up. I went to the CSI to file a report. Which is the community bridges or something. File a report.
So you did the petition?
Yeah, they ordered pickup.
Okay. What time did you do that?
Hour and a half ago.
Okay. So what makes her a danger to herself and to others?
She threatened me, murder me, kill me.
She threatened to murder you?
Yes. And she said,
how did she do that?
My bishop right there is in the car. He was on the phone with me today when she said, "I will have you destroyed." That's what she said there.
Okay, that's not a threat to kill you.
Yesterday was a threat to kill me.
Okay. What did she say yesterday?
She said, "You're not Charles. I don't know who you are, what you did with Charles, but I can murder you now with my powers."
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Says I'm gonna kill you too. Yesterday was
so she's speaking as a spiritual being.
She's not here. She's lost her reality.
Is this just all recent, or has it been going on?
Been going on for about 4 or 5 years. It's gotten really, really bad lately. She goes to the temple every day and speaks with Moroni and Jesus Christ. And they tell her what to do. And now she came to her today, and last couple of days she says, "I'm not Charles. You're not Charles. You're Nick Schneider." I don't know where she gets his names from. She got all this stuff from these people in Utah who tell her how many past lives she's had and probation she's had. And she's was married to Moroni way back when, and she was also married to James the Just. And
okay, this is all foreign to me. So
it's foreign to me.
Well, I'm not LDS. Do you live here?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm paying the lease.
Do you guys have any orders of protections against you?
No, we do not.
So no police reports?
No, nothing.
Okay. So how does she pose a threat to your children?
I don't know what she's going to do with them. I don't know if she's going to flee with them. She's going to hurt them.
You don't even know if she's here, right?
Today on the phone. I can't. All the cars are. The garage is closed. I don't know.
You can tell that Charles is very desperate to get across to the police how in distress he feels and that he needs help. He explains how she canceled his flight.
She canceled my flight. She came to the airport, took my truck.
Did she tell you that?
No, she knows the code. She knows where it's parked.
So here are the first warning signs that the kids might have been threatened. To Lori Vallow's mother and sister, they think that she's acting normal. But Charles has seen the truth, and she is far from normal. She's threatening that she doesn't care about the kids anymore. Charles says that she's psychologically gone, that something's happened to her. But this isn't something that happened overnight as he would lead you to believe. We have learned throughout her history, she's always had these episodes to where she could be violent and she could order someone to hurt someone. But I believe that Charles doesn't see that side in her. He loves her so much that he wants to believe that she doesn't have this darker side, and he wants to help her.
Psychologically, she's gone. Something's happened to her.
How old is she?
30, 45.
45. So if we talk to her, is she going to be able to have a rational conversation with us?
Oh, she will. I'm sure she will.
Okay.
Yeah,
She'll probably tell me I'm crazy, huh? Is that what you suspect?
You're a dark spirit, but she's going to tell you.
Okay.
And I'm a dark spirit. Gabe's with me. He's our bishop. He's going to be a dark spirit. Whatever that means. You're evil.
And you said this has been going on for like 4 years?
Well, it's to an extent, but it's gotten really bad the last several months. And I've been trying to ignore it because hoping it'll get better.
Charles says he tried to ignore it and he's hoping that it would get better. And as you heard, they're having conversations about these concerns for Lori's mental health. But I've learned that Lori seems to be using these ideas to control people. I don't think she believes in most of what she's teaching, but I'm not an expert.
Is she on any medications?
No, she won't do medications.
Has she been to the doctor?
No, she won't go to the doctor because she's a translated being, and they would find out she's translated. She cannot be killed. She cannot die.
And that's what she thinks?
Yes.
Okay.
She's
been telling you that?
Yes, and Gabe too.
Okay.
He heard this, not just me. This is I love her to death. This is killed the officer.
Oh, I can understand.
Our 13th anniversary next month. We've done had a great marriage. All of a sudden, the last month it just blew up.
Mm-hmm.
She just lost connection.
Okay. Has she made any statements about wanting to hurt the children or anything?
Today she said with Gabe on the phone, come take the kids. I don't care what happens to them. Come take them.
Okay, but she didn't make a direct threat towards the kids.
No, not a direct threat.
Okay. And then she said that she would murder you through a spiritual...
No, she said, I can murder you.
I can murder you. And she's talking in a
I will kill you.
Spiritual...
No, she said physically, I will kill you because you're not Charles, and nobody will care.
Okay, so she at this point doesn't think you are her husband?
She thinks I'm Mick Schneider.
Who's Mick Schneider?
I have no idea.
Let's go back a little bit in time to Joseph Ryan. Joseph Ryan passed away April of 2018, and it was a long time before anybody even realized that Joseph was even dead in his own apartment. Is that what she's referring to Charles, that, we can kill you and no one will even care? Or will it be because there will be so many earthquakes and disasters going on, no one would notice? Regardless, Lori Vallow basically said that she wouldn't care, or nor would the children. And remember this, the children are with Lori Vallow during this time, and they're at a hotel with Melanie Gibb. They have no idea that Lori Vallow could care less what happens to the children. And just a few hours from now, Tylee Ryan will sit in the police office with her mother and Melanie Gibb and help her mother. For now, Charles has no idea where they are. Now, these police come around and they are a little, understanding the Charles predicament. They even help him a little bit. But when Charles leaves this house, and we'll talk about that shortly, the next set of police officers won't be so understanding. Charles will lead police towards his home, and they try to find a way in.
My keys. I have no keys to get in.
Oh, okay.
No garage door opener.
Okay.
She knows what she's doing. She took $35,000 out of our bank account today. I can't make payroll Friday for my company. It's just she changed our bank account numbers. I had to change it myself to get back in, and I saw all the money's gone. I've got $7 in my name.
So, does she know how to use
I
it?
don't know if she knows how to use it. I don't know.
You have an alarm system?
They changed it.
Who's the oldest? You have the right to force entry, so. Who's the oldest child?
Tyler, she's about 3 in college, so they're gone.
Who lives here? That's the
Tyler's
oldest.
16. Zach is 19. He's our nephew. He's living here.
Okay. And you tried calling him?
Yes.
Why won't he
I
answer?
don't know. He won't answer. She's got him Buffalo too. I don't know what she told him.
Okay. And then
Just so I open that door.
That would be my suggestion is if you're going to break something, break that door because you can still fly in the garage.
you want to check your front door, make sure it's not unlocked?
It's locked out of the door. Trust me, I know. It's there. So there's just a bit deadbolt here.
Alright. Well,
Kick it in.
Switch Gabe will do it.
I'll do a mule kick. We'll try that first. You gotta get closer to the.
Charles tries to open the door, what they call a mule kick. He's not able to do it, so police help him.
Do any tools?
Told her how crazy I was and stuff like that.
What was your name?
Melanie.
Your last name?
Gabe.
Gibb.
Okay, just because for documentation later, what's your date of birth? So, okay, so he had you come there, was asking you questions, so, like, is this something that's happened before, or is this
Unfortunately, yeah. We've had to leave and go to hotels just to like calm down or something,
what is it, like, that motivates him doing this kind of stuff? Did he say why?
He just goes nuts sometimes.
Just goes
This
nuts?
time I caught him cheating and I had evidence and I told him about it, and he travels a lot for business, so I told him about it. I told him not to come home and that his stuff would be gone and that his car would be gone, and I was so he's a little mad.
She's just trying to protect herself. Yeah.
But I just left with the kids because I didn't want them to get all the drama.
Yeah.
So then you took your phone, your purse, and has he tried to make contact with you since?
He's trying to contact me through her. He has my phone. I don't have a way to be contacted.
Yeah. And I didn't know her. I didn't know what her phone. I couldn't contact her.
Nobody
The
can
white stuff
contact
she
me. I
called me.
just went and bought a phone so I could have a little
Yeah. So.
throwaway phone. So
Have you called him to ask him if he'd bring your stuff back?
well, he talked to her about it. So
And what was,
Yeah. I said, would you be willing to give me the purse for Lori? You know. And he goes, no, unless she does this, and all these.
don't speak in generalities, I want
sorry.
specifics. What did he say?
Therapy today.
So he wanted
to meet him in therapy. He wasn't going to give you the purse. He just was saying he'd give it to me if I meet him there.
Okay,
I don't really want to talk to him today if I don't have to.
okay.
Yeah.
So if we have him bring the purse back, are we all good? Like, I mean, you're not willing to meet with him with a therapist or anything to try to get it back?
I don't want to meet with him because I don't know. He's very sneaky. So, like, what he'll do is meet me in the parking lot and mess around with me, whatever. Like, he's not going to just.
What if we called him
walk
and
into
see if he'll come here and we can facilitate him giving your purse back? Texting her.
Texting all my family and the kids too.
Yeah, he definitely has her phone. So we know it was him that took the purse because he.
What's he texting you?
I have the text. He was basically just texting me. He was acting like that my son was in danger. I'm worried about JJ's safety and things, and texting her like he's gonna. So he at first texted me, "You doing okay today? Hey." I may not be home for a bit. Love you. Sent me a strange link to a website about our church. About crazy people. Yeah. Said this is what's happening, and then he texted me at almost midnight. I'm sorry, but I have no choice. I'm just sick. I had no choice. Which he didn't file a police report or anything as far as we know, so I'm just assuming he was trying to get a response, and then I love you. He was.
Police report about what?
Or I don't know, but he was acting like he did something.
And then those text messages came from, do you have it entered as mom's phone or?
No, that was from him.
That was from his phone.
He didn't take the purse until 8:30. This was last night at school.
So that was from his mom.
And he was sending word for word the same text to my cousin, like.
What's his name?
Charles.
What's his phone number?
Is it the same last name as you? So.
Yeah, Vallow. Charles Vallow. So my friend that's a police officer, he said, go file a report, file a restraining order, all that stuff. I don't want to do all of that stuff. I just wanted to be on record, and if you can get the purse back, that would be lovely, because all my stuff is in there. I'm really mad about my lip gloss.
About credit cards.
Well, he has all the cards and all the
Yeah.
stuff, so he's mad because I took the money out of our account, but it's a joint account, so he wants me to give him money.
Okay, well, that's all a civil issue.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Purse, there's no reason why he's walking around with your purse, your ID, that he doesn't have a right to.
right.
Married or
That's
not
what I'm saying.
married.
All the rest of the stuff is our joint stuff together.
Yeah.
So.
All right. We're going to leave the room temporarily. We're going to try to give him a call, see if we can't get this rectified.
That'd be great. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Tyler Ryan's awful young, but she's learning the manipulation game. And she has no clue that her mother has no interest in taking care of her or loving her in the future. Police go into the hallway to call Charles.
Right now is your wife's at the police department claiming you stole her purse and her cell phone. Okay, you realize they don't belong to you, correct? Okay, so that's a civil issue, and she's responsible for every penny. If you guys end up going through divorce proceeding. Okay, and you also texted a friend to meet you at the house last night under the guise that you were her. What was that for? So you texted a friend of hers to meet you at the house last night using her cell phone. What was that all about? Oh, this morning? Okay. Yeah, we read the report from earlier today regarding you not being able to get into the house and everything, so I do not have the order in front of me, so I cannot do that. It's got to be approved, and I know I cannot get her, well, it's got to go to our sergeant, who's got to call, verify that it's good, and then we get dispatched. So that's just how the process works. And I can't keep somebody against their will without a warrant or the valid. Well, I'm telling you right now, we have a process. You come here, you turn it in, it goes to a sergeant. Sergeant calls the doctor. Okay, well, I don't have that, and for all we know, it's not valid anymore. I do not know. What I'm concerned about. Yeah, well, that's not what I'm discussing a whole separate issue right now, and that's her getting her belongings back. Okay, you're saying it's at the house, which you changed the locks on, correct? So she doesn't have access to. Yes. So unless you want to be charged with theft, we need to get that purse back to her. If you want to come here with the purse and that order, we can get this all try to figure it out. And the purse and her cell phone. Okay. So how soon can you be here? We're at the police department, 75 East Civic Center Drive, Gilbert and Warner. Thank you. How long?
Police will slip back in there, and Lori will manipulate her way into a situation to make them feel that she is the victim. Eventually, shortly after this, she will go and check herself in for evaluation. Melanie Gibb goes with her, which is odd, and they release her. Nearly immediately, she had pulled the wool over their eyes. Do you think she went in there and told them that she was a goddess speaking to Moroni, who was married to Moroni and now was preparing for the second coming, that she had these special powers and that she had planned to kill Charles with those powers? I bet you guessed no, she didn't. At this point, Charles has to throw his hands in the air. He doesn't know what else to do. She's just getting away with everything. He's trying to save the kids, but the kids don't trust him. They're trusting the monster that's going to torture them. The monster that's going to use them to get her places she wants to be. We will continue this on part 85. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you would like notifications. If you would like to donate to to help us continue making these videos, make sure you go over to Chasing a Murderer Patreon. Love you guys. Don't forget that we have girls that their stories are still, they're being forgotten, to be honest, but they're still missing. Their families have no answers. Share their face, share their story.